Welcome back, Bazigars. If you have been following our series of poker lessons, you would be aware of what is betting in poker. In any case, just to refresh your memory, whenever a player puts chips in the middle, known as the pot in poker, it's known as a bet. You can bet in three ways. Number one, by calling, which is putting the same amount of chips as the last player before you. Number two, by raising, which is putting double or more than double chips of the last bet in the pot. And number three, by going all in, which is putting all your chips in the middle or the pot. Which decision you take will depend on a lot of factors like your whole card strength, your position on the table, the other players' playing habits, etc. To begin with, let's talk about one basic mistake that players make when they start playing poker, which is just calling or flatting, as is known in poker. For example, say on a 5-10 stakes table, you are sitting on the dealer's position and all players before you put 10 chips in the pot. Now it's your turn, and irrespective of your whole card strength, you also match the 10 rupees bet just to be a part of that round and see the flop. This betting is called flat calling or limping pre-flop. Now this is a habit that's difficult to break later on, since one gets used to watching every flop by putting minimum bet amount just because other players are also doing the same. Please remember, in poker, our motive is to win big pots, not participating in every hand. So one basic rule every budding poker player must follow is learning to raise. Do remember here that if in a particular round another player has already raised before you, it's perfectly fine to just call him here instead of re-raising. Unless you have some really strong hands like Ace-Ace, King-King, Queen-Queen, Jack-Jack, 10-10, 9-9, Ace-King, Ace-Queen, Ace-Jack, etc. There are two benefits of raising. One, when you raise, you stand the chance to win that pot uncontested, as most other players may fold even before the flop is opened. And two, since you would be raising, it's unlikely you will do it with weak or marginal strength hands, which will improve your game. In case you want to revise the hand strength list, please see our lesson on whole card strength list. So the first golden rule of playing is to try and raise your hand pre-flop or fold it if it's not a great hand. Let's now talk about how much you should raise. You have to keep in mind the fact that just like you are paying attention to the table, all other players are doing the same. So you can't raise as per the strength of your cards. For example, if on the same 5-10 stakes, if you raise to 30 when you get King Jack, but raise to 50 when you get Ace King and 200 when you get Ace Ace, you will be giving extra information to your opponents, and they will be able to take advantage of this habit of yours by either folding when you make a big raise or re-raising when you raise small. So the second golden rule of betting is that you should raise exactly the same amount irrespective of the strength of your whole cards, which means you should raise the same 30 rupees whether you are dealt King Jack or Ace King or Ace Ace. This will keep your opponents guessing and stop you from giving additional information to them. The betting size I am going to talk about now is not a hard and fast rule, but just a broad guideline. So on a 6-player table, when you do raise, make it 3 times the big blind if no one has bet before you, or add 1 extra blind for every player who has limped before you. So continuing the same example, if you are on dealer's position and everyone before you folds, you raise to 30. If one player has limped before you, you raise to 40. If 2 players have limped before you, you raise to 50, and so on. There are 2 reasons to raise. Number 1, to get value for your big hands when your opponent calls with a weaker hand. And number 2, to bluff the opponent and make him fold a hand that is stronger than yours, simply by making them feel that you have a much stronger hand than theirs. And that's all there is to basics of betting. In our next chapter, we will discuss the different types of bets you can make in various rounds of poker. See you there. Till then, keep learning and keep crushing.